So, so we talked about yesterday how you can add two equations together. You can also subtract two equations. But the goal is eliminating a variable. And so let's start with Isabel. Isabel, which of the variables look easier to eliminate, the x's or the y's? The x's. So what could you multiply either of the equations by to eliminate the x's?
Positive 2.
Okay, which equation?
Oh, that.
Okay. So if I multiply the bottom equation by positive 2, I would get 2x minus 24y equals 40. And then I'm just going to recopy the top equation. Now the goal is to have the coefficients of one of the variables be opposites. So did Isabel accomplish the goal? Yeah. And so Brendan, when she adds the two equations together, what would she get?
Negative 30y equals 3.
Good. And then Brendan, what would y be?
Y would be negative 1.
Good. So you divide both sides by negative 30, and y would be negative 1. And how do we find x, Talisa? Okay, which one would you like to plug it into? Okay. So we'll plug it in right there. And so I get x minus 12 times negative 12 equals 20. And so x, this ends up being a positive 12, so plus 12 equals 20. And so I can subtract 12 on both sides, and I get x equals 8. And so I have 8 common negative 1. Questions on that? Okay. I think this. Yeah, then no problem. So, Isaac, which variable would you like to eliminate?
Y.
Okay, so how would you do that?
Times the top one by 3.
Okay. And what do you get when you multiply the top one by 3?
Negative 30x minus 3y plus 6 equals 6.
And then I'm just going to recopy the bottom equation. Now, Pete, what do I do next?
Add them together.
Okay, and what would I get?
You get negative 34x plus y.
So what's negative 3y plus 3y?
Oh, negative 6.
It's 0y.
Oh,
So instead of saying y, you just say nothing. Okay. Now, Pete, what would x be then?
will we divide that by negative 34?
Good.
And then I would do, two.
Good. Positive or negative?
Positive, negative.
Good. Denise, how do you find the other variable? Okay. Which equation? Or, I'm sorry, what did you say? Okay. So I'd have -4 times -2 plus 3y equals 2. And then what would it become, Denise? Yep.
Plus 3y is equal to 2. Okay, 3y is equal to 7 divided 3. And then y is equal to -2.
All right, questions on that? Is ready to take it up a notch? All right, so yesterday we went through like easy in my mind because we just had to like add them together. These are medium because you have to multiply one of the equations. So now we're going to go to a couple more levels of difficulty. I did move the test to Wednesday just because I want to give us a little more practice time. So I'll note that on the board. Okay. Okay, so why would this have a higher level of difficulty? Brendan?
Because the problem is pretty much just split, so the 4x inside y and y and then opposite side of the equal sign.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one thing is that it's all jumbled up. Davian?
The x and y are not factors of each other.
Okay. Yeah, so x and y's aren't factors of each other, so that's another level of difficulty. So let's deal with those things in pieces. We can't deal with all of them at the same time. So let's first deal with the issue that Brendan discussed, which was getting everything lined up. So the top equation is lined up correctly. It's the x term plus the y term equals the constant term. So let's line up the bottom equation so it looks like that. So this one looks good. The bottom one, I'm going to switch the left and the right sides. So I'm going to write -4x plus 5y equals -12. So essentially I'm going to switch the left-hand side with the right-hand side. It's just like saying A equals B versus B equals A. So you can write those in any order. All right. And so, Ava, what would you like to cancel? The x's or the y's?
X's.
Okay. So she'd like to eliminate the x's. So that means she has to come up with a number that she can multiply the x terms by, and that those coefficients will be opposites. Okay, you have a -3 and a -4. You want them to be the same and opposite of each other. So what numbers are you going to be going for?
12.
12. Okay, so what are you going to multiply the first equation by?
4.
4. And how about the bottom equation by?
-3.
Good. Because if she multiplies the first equation by 4, she'll get -12x, 16y, and then 32. Thank you. Yeah, and that's just an example of how easy it is to mess up. So keep a clear head. I learned it from watching you, Dad. So don't feel like me. That I'm not Dad, but something funny from, I forgot what. Okay, so why did you choose negative, Ava?
So that they would.
Good, because you needed this to be a positive 12x so that they would cancel out, because opposites cancel. So that's positive 12, negative 15y, and then positive 36. Okay, Davian, what's the result when we add these together?
When you get 0,
Okay.
and then we'll do 0.
Yep.
And then you get 1y. And then you get 4.
Yay, so that was nice. It ended up turning out where you didn't even have to solve after you went through all that. It was just all done. Okay, so TJ, how do you find y, or sorry, x?
You do add the bottom equation.
Okay.
12x plus negative, well, it's negative 15 times 4. Oh wait, yeah,
Where did you plug it in?
I plugged it in for the above one.
This one?
I actually used the one all the way to the right.
Okay. This one?
No, the one all the way to
This one?
the right. Yeah.
Okay. And you can use any equation in any form. This one happens to have bigger numbers, so that's not ideal, but it'll work. Just means you'll have to multiply the bigger number. So it's 12x minus 15 times 4 equals 36.
And then 12x minus 16 equals 36. And then you add 60 to both sides, so it's 12x equals 76. And then x equals 8.
Okay, so an 8 from a 4. And you can plug those in to start to make sure they work. All right, questions there? All right, we're going to do one more and then give you guys some practice. Okay, Shirley, what variable would you like to eliminate?
The y.
The y. Okay. Is everything arranged properly?
Yeah. We go. We're gonna have to switch the bottom x to the bottom. So you have to leave 2y plus 9x.
Okay, so you want to draw her on the bottom. All right, and then sorry, what did you say you wanted to cancel?
I want to cancel the y's.
Okay, so how would you do that?
So I'm gonna multiply the bottom and reduce the fraction. Well, 2y. So that'd be 6y. And then 8.
Yeah.
27x equals 12. And then your y's will cancel. And then it would be 3x equals 6. You could write 3 on both sides.
Okay. Maggie, how do you find y?
Plug in negative 2 into the equation.
Okay, where do you want to go? Okay. Okay, what's that? So -2 comma 11. Great, questions on that? Because I talked to everyone besides Ashley. I'm gonna just go to the next slide. I'm gonna have Ashley tell me what I do to eliminate. We're not gonna do the whole thing though. That's the toughie, is figuring out how to eliminate. Okay, Ashley, how would I eliminate for this one?
So it's already aligned, so make the y's and then multiply the first one by 10. And multiply the second by
7. Okay. So then sometimes numbers get big. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like a number on the homework when they both equal the same number. And I just wrote out the equation as the top one equals the bottom. And then I got both y and simplified. And then I divided by in this case I divided by 0. And then I got my answer. Is that okay?
You divide it by 0.
And this I would, but I paid 7y minus 11x equals -10y plus 10x. And then I simplified it. And then I got both of the numbers. And then I divided it. I divided it. I divided 11 by the number.
Were you able to get one of the variables to cancel?
Yeah.
You were. Because I mean, for this one, you get 7y minus 11x equals -7y plus 10x. That's definitely true, because they both equal 0. But then you're kind of stuck because you still have two variables. But if one of the variables happened to cancel at that point, then you'd be in good shape.
Yeah.
So it's legal, but it might not be helpful. It is not legal to divide by 0 because it's undefined. But I like how you were thinking there. What you did was true. What's 10 times 0? 0. Okay. Is she? Okay. So what would you get here, Ashley?
40. X.
So what is x? Yep, x is 0. Yes.
Well, if we know that x is going to be 0, we need to show that it's going to be 0.
How did you know that?
Even if you multiply it by 0.
I guess I wouldn't have known that from the start, but
Yeah, I feel like I just found like that. Even if you have, that's really much.
I don't know, it's obvious. Good word for that. I don't know. So I'm gonna have you do some practice. Do know the problems increase in difficulty as you go. So if you struggled in the beginning of the